what happens when you are a perfectionist? I am very much a perfectionist. I hate it when work is unfinished or when it's not perfect. When I was in animation school, when I first started learning, I would not show my work until I thought it was absolutely perfect, as much as I could, which was a very bad thing to do because the whole point of showing your work, especially to your friends and your colleagues and your other classmates, is so that they can give you critiques so that you can improve your work faster. If you're trying to do it all on your own, you're defeating the whole purpose of getting feedback. So we have to get over that very quickly. But part of the thing that helped me get over that feeling of everything has to be perfect, and if it's not, I failed and I hate it, is one, realizing that when you are failing, when things go wrong, when you make something that doesn't work out, yes, it sucks. Like, there's no way around that. It sucks. You put a lot of time into something and it didn't work out. It looks terrible. I've had so many of those happen. Like, some of them on stream when you're working and it's like, this idea should be cool and it doesn't work out. It sucks, but it is a great learning experience. What didn't work? Why didn't it work? You learn more from mistakes than you do from successes. That's just a fact. You talk to any animator, all of them will say this. You will learn so much more from the mistakes you've made than from your successes. And you can kind of just think about it this way. Let's say you're animating a shot and you animate it and it's perfect. Everything turns out perfectly, not a single mistake. It's just beautiful. Okay, how did you do it? How did you make it perfect? Why is it successful? When you're first learning, how would you know what makes it successful? It just is. It looks good. Yay. That's it. You don't have the vocabulary to explain why it's looking good yet. Now, once you have years of experience and many mistakes on your belt, okay, now I can tell what makes a shot look good and what doesn't. But when I was first starting out, I didn't know what made a shot look good. It looks good. You don't know. Now, what that means is when you do your next shot or your next shot afterwards, how can you repeat the same thing? How can you achieve another good shot if you have no idea how you did it in the first place? Now, if you make a mistake and you get a correction, suddenly you know. So you give your shot and go, someone will go, the pose here, the line of action could be stronger. And ideally, hopefully they'll explain why and how it'll make things even better. And suddenly in your brain, you get that little extra thing that goes, oh, if I exaggerate my line of actions, that makes for better shots. Oh, if I add a reversal in this moment, I'm going to get a more dynamic shot. And you build that up with every mistake and every kind of critique that you get. You will learn, oh, that's how I achieve success. That's how I achieve something that is appealing. Now, it sucks to have those mistakes, but as long as you are active in realizing what those mistakes were, you will get better and you will be a stronger animator in the end because of it. If you are just succeed every single time, there will reach a point when you do not succeed and you won't have the tools necessary to realize why. That is very important. That's the whole point of being a student. When you go to schools like Animation Mentor, I Animate, Anim School, yes, you would want to have your shot on their showcase and be this like god of animation that's just amazing and everything you touch is super, it shines on screen. Yeah, that would be amazing. I know I always wished for that too. Like, every shot I wanted it to be so good. But you are there because you are learning. You're in a school to learn, to make mistakes. The whole point of being there is to make mistakes so that your mentor can teach you how not to make those same mistakes. And once you kind of learn that and start applying that, mistakes, not that you're trying to make them, but they become a learning tool and something to embrace, in a sense. You want to learn from them, and make sure that you don't do them again. So if I make a mistake, I consciously go, I am going to make sure I never repeat this thing. My mentor should never have to tell me to fix that same thing ever again. And you get better and better. So that's the big one to me. And this goes, even if you don't have a mentor, if you are learning on your own, you can do the same thing. So I've talked about this before, but when I was first starting to learn gesture drawing, I'm not very good at doing gesture drawing. I haven't practiced in a long time. But one thing I always used to do was that I would always draw the heads too small. So I would start with the head, and then I would start drawing the body, and I would start getting something like this, where you just have this tiny little head on this huge body. And then I'd have to come back in and, okay, make that head bigger. And it would always get really weird. Another thing I always used to do is I would forget to add the waist. So I would kind of do the chest and then go right into the hips here. So I'm missing a whole section right there. Now, when you are doing something like this goes for animation, it goes for everything. I could just draw this and then, okay, let's keep drawing, and then do the same thing, maybe a different pose. Maybe the arm's going to be up here this time, and this arm's going to be down here. But I haven't fixed the issue. The head's still small, and I still don't add a waist. I haven't thought of my issues. I just go, oh, that didn't look good, let's try again. Oh, that didn't look good, let's try again. Oh, that didn't look good. That is not going to get you any better. You need to point out your mistakes. Your own mistakes, and you do this with animation as well. So for example, one thing I did was I would do a whole page, like maybe an hour of gesture drawings or half an hour, and then I would go through back on each single one. I would analyze why it didn't work. So for me, one of the big ones was the head, and I would redline this, just take a red marker and go through. Okay, head's too small, and I might make notes. Small. I'm missing a waist right there, and I would go through. And then the next time I would approach the gesture drawing, I would consciously have this list of my common mistakes, and I would try to address them. So as I'm drawing the head, I would make sure that I draw it just a little bit bigger. And then I'm consciously paying attention to the size of the shoulders. How wide should those be? There we go. Now my head matches my body size a little better. Okay, I've got the torso in here. I need the waist. Add that in there. Then go into the hips. There we go. A small issue in the sense of, yeah, the head's a little too small. Well, small. It's actually a really big issue because everything is off. But I have addressed it, and I've made that mental note to never make that mistake again. And I will make the mistake again. That'll happen. But I know what it is and how to fix it. Another thing that I always do, I always forget the neck. So I would end up with something like this. My characters would always have the head like that all the time in my drawings. So I made a conscious effort to draw the neck in here. And then the shoulders right there. So now I make sure I have this clear gap between shoulders, chin, all of that. So this is the same process. When you're doing animation, you do some quick animations. Don't take too long, but even if it's a longer one, you write down all the mistakes. What did you struggle with? What made no sense? What did you not understand? What doesn't look good? And when you're first starting out, you might not have the vocabulary for it, but you can still write it down. And then look for a solution to it. Look for videos, ask questions like on these Twitch streams or any other resource that you have available to you. And as you do that, you will start to fill in the blanks and get better and better and better and better. So I hope that answers the question. It is a common thing. We all go through it. It's really taking that, what we consider a failing, and turn it into a win. That's what's going to make you a better animator and better artist, better whatever in general. And I've been doing that. I've been doing a sculpting workshop, and this is something I've been doing in there as well, where I'm making a lot of mistakes. I haven't sculpted anything in 10 years. Nothing major, like small little doodles, or not even doodles, like props and stuff, but no character modeling, not in 10 plus years. And I'm doing it again for the first time in so long, and I'm making a ton of mistakes, which is annoying because I should know better. I know of this stuff, but instead of getting frustrated at it, I'm taking it as a time to, okay, I made this mistake. How can I make it better? I tried to create a jacket for my character. Oh, that didn't work out. I've got like 6 different versions of a jacket that didn't work out before I got one that actually did. Because every single time I would go, okay, this method, no, something's not right. I'm not going to get the topology right. Okay, try this one. No, I'm not going to get this right. And I make sure to note that down. Why did I try this method? What didn't work about it? Let's try it again a different way. Or with the knowledge of the mistakes I've already done, try to avoid them and get past and go further. So hopefully that helps.